can you key these two separate lock sets alike so we only use one key for the front and back door? You see, there's logic behind my thoughts. And the guy said, yeah, I could get these done today. I said, what are you going to charge me? He said, it's $10 per lock, $20 for both of them. I said, okay, so I paid. And then he asked me 3 seconds later, what did you want me to do with these? And I'm thinking he's an older fella, but he's got a good reputation. He's made multiple keys for me. So I opened up the box, I put my name, my telephone number, what the town I'm in, the date, the time, and I put key to like. Okay? Well, he never called me today, and my wife thinks that I shouldn't have done business with him. I don't know if the guy was kidding when he said, what do you want me to do with these? But you wouldn't expect a businessman to ask that. So I at least have all my contact information if I find out that the guy is not with it. It's like, how am I supposed to know that? Anyway, over to you, Mike, and then hand it to Doug.
Yeah, I don't know what you did there, Norm, but it don't sound good. It's well I am. Go ahead, Doug.
So wait, what do you think he did? You think he just forgot that you gave him the locks and the locks are gone now?
No, I think I gave him $20 and my $20 is gone. Oh, and Mike, thanks for your support. Doug, did you see how he just sided with my wife?
Well, you got to keep your friends close and your enemies closer, Norm. Well, he still has your locks, though, correct?
Yes, he does.
Look at
and
you are,
honestly, I always believe in the best. I'm an optimist, but I'm suspicious as hell now.
Well, maybe you're going to go in there tomorrow before the New Year's Eve festivities begin, and he'll have your locks keyed for you.
I forgot to add one component. Are you ready for this, Mike?
He's a drunk.
You bring it on.
No. When I went in there, he was playing with Barbie dolls.
No, shut up. No, he wasn't. At 80?
He was playing with Barbie dolls. He had collections of Ken, Barbie, black ones, Chinese ones. I guess he collects them and goes to toy fairs.
Who is this?
And it's a locksmith in an adjacent town. And I ain't saying nothing bad about that. But is he going through his second childhood? That's the point.
Did he ask you to change his diaper and get him a bottle of milk? Because I heard there's people that are into that, Norm. You better be careful.
Doug, I heard you. Doug, go ahead, Mike.
Mike, go ahead. I doubled with you.
I said, was he sucking his thumb when you walked in, Norm?
No, he sounded lucid to me. I remember my older sisters had the Barbie sets, and it came in one of them vinyl little cases that you unsnapped and folded open, and it was their wardrobe. He had about 24 of them things. And that's okay. I mean, people have choo-choo trains. This guy likes collecting dolls. I'm telling you, I hope I get a phone call before the evening festivities. Because if I walk in there late at night after a phone call, I'm going to start making comments about them dolls.
I got about 500 of them.
Very good. Do you have the matching brassiere and panties?
Yeah, there's all separate sets for each one.
Oh, yes. I kind of like the tiger-striped underwears for the girls. Yep.
See,
Newest one I got, Barbie's got a penis.
Oh, good Lord, what website did you buy yours from?
It was from the store. But we didn't know. It was an added bonus.
Oh, a boners?
I guess so.
Oh, Doug, I don't know what I did, but I hope I get a phone call from this fella, and I hope he says your lock sets are ready.
well, it seems you really only have one thing to worry about, Norm. Okay, because he's a locksmith, so you gotta just hope that he doesn't like keep a key to your house, and you wake up one night at like midnight, and he's laying next to you in bed, and he says something to you like, "I'm gonna make you my life-size Ken doll to go with the Barbie." So that's the only thing I would be worried about if I were you.
I got news for
break in
him.
and
I'll look
steal
him
your
straight
Barbie
in the
doll.
eye and say, you can't rape the willing.
Joke's on you, locksmith. That's funny. KB2 UKA.
AC3GD.
That happens to some guys when they get up in here.
life-size Ken
Oh boy. But I will say one thing. This man is a bonded locksmith. He does work for everybody and anybody. And I personally, I've gone in there with a lock with one key. I said, could you make a couple extra keys for this lock? He had him done. He didn't charge me a lot. He's cheaper than anyone else. I just hope he's not getting Joe Biden disease.
Yeah, he forgot you gave him some work. I don't know what to tell you, Norm. The world's getting to be a real strange place. Be right back, 12 a.m.
Norm, maybe he's selling them on his counter right now. He's like, I just got these two beautiful brand new locks in.
Oh no, I wasn't dumb. He didn't get the complete lock set. He just got the lock itself with the keys. It ain't gonna do anybody any good.
Oh, you just gave him like the cylinder, the barrel.
Yeah, the barrel, which is attached to the external part of the lock set. So, and he said, I don't need any. I said, should I have brought the rest of the stuff? He said, nope, I have what I need. I don't know if he was kidding me. He said it with a straight face. He's 84, 83-ish. What was I supposed to do with these? So I said, well, do you have a pen? I'll write everything down. Oh.
You know what I think is going to happen, Norm? I think everything's going to be just fine, and you're going to have a single key for both locks, and his craftsmanship will be mighty fine. KB2 UKA, I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Roger.
All right, I just want to hear this recording. Let's see.
It's getting to be a real strange place.
Locks in.
Oh no, I wasn't dumb.
Cylinder, the barrel.
The back part did, I don't know, straight 3-ish to do with it and down.
You know what I think is going to happen, Norm? I think everything's going to be just fine, and you're going to have a single key for both locks, and his craftsmanship will be mighty fine. KB2 UKA, I'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, I'm back. KB2 UKA. Norm, you still there?
Oh yeah, I had to get my wallet out of my back pocket. All those hundreds, it kind of shifts my hip over.
Yeah, you and Richie have the same problem, except he has gold coins in his back pocket.
That's why his pants are falling down.
He always made it sound like he was getting attacked by his wife all the time. Now we got it figured out. It's the gold coins that are pulling his pants to his ankles.
Yeah, that and bending over every time he's got to bury some.
Yeah, he can fool everyone else, but he ain't fooling me.
All right, I'm going to grab a Snapple. I'll be right back.
I'm going to show up at his house with a metal detector to check his walls.
And then when he smiles, your metal detector will go off, and you'll just say, "Now, Richie, hold still. You won't feel a thing."
Okay, we just had a nice dinner. I'm a little parched, so this diet Snapple will quench my thirst.
Watch out for diet stuff. They throw chemicals to make it taste sweet, and they're finding more crap out. Regular sugar in small amounts.
Yeah.
Don't drink any soda. You'll be better off. There's phosphoric acid in all of it.
Yeah, well, this isn't soda. It's iced tea. But let's see. What do we got in here? Let's get the old light out, because it's a little dark in here. What ingredients are in this delicious iced tea? We've got, not too bad. Our real tea starts with the finest tea leaves and is made from filtered water, citric acid, tea, there it is, aspartame, that's the bad stuff, potassium citrate, natural flavors, and malic acid. So that's the ingredients.
Yeah, can't you afford tea bags?
I can, but this is a yummy ice-cold raspberry Snapple, only 5 calories.
Yeah, I'm telling you, make your own. For a quart, just put in 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's it, real sugar. And you'll drink that, and it'll wet your whistle, because the aspartame, I think that's NutraSweet. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. The laboratory mice don't like it, just saying. And malic acid, I don't know what the hell that is. I never did that in high school.
Norm, that make your balls shrivel? K2 RPM.
Well, I hope it does, because these damn things are annoying to carry around.
Degrees, it turns into formaldehyde.
Well, I hope, if it makes my balls shrivel, it'll help me out. These things are real heavy to carry around.
I know, I had that problem. Mine shrunk from basketball size to golf ball size, and I'm going to stop the aspartame right there.
All right, here you go. Malic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid found in certain fruits and wines. It's used in food and cosmetics and sometimes as medicine. Malic acid is sour and acidic. This helps to clear away dead skin cells when applied to the skin. So I'm sure it's not doing good things inside the body. Its sourness also helps to make more saliva in people with dry mouth.
They're throwing something out there. Yeah, I'm going to try some of that.
Oh, Norm, you're
Good evening, Cousin Brucey. 12 a.m.
down that same road I am. How are you guys?
Hey, Bruce, doing good, sounding good.
Hey, Bruce, you missed it. I gave away 2 brand new lock sets the oldest boy gave my wife and I to a locksmith that I caught playing with Barbie doll sets. And she's not too happy with me.
Well, there you go, Norm. There you go. Hey, I'm sorry to interject here, but I had heard you guys last night before. And in passing, I had heard that Ed NP2G had passed away.
Yes, it's about a little over a month ago now, I believe.
Does anyone know what the cause of? Would he have a heart attack or something?
I know, but do you want to take this, Norm? You knew him better than I did.
the election polls. He was a greeter, security, so to speak, and people followed him. Were following up a back road, a country road, and he, at speed, drove off the road into a bunch of trees. He was in his brand new Dodge 3500 he bought for him and his wife Joyce to haul the trailer on vacation. And that was November 6th, and he died the 26th. Last couple days he was given morphine. I kind of figured nothing good happened.
But Norm, did he have a heart attack which caused him to go off road, or was there some prevailing malady, or was it just he lost control of the vehicle? Did anybody know what happened?
I heard he had a stroke while he was driving.
Yeah, I thought you heard me say that. He had a stroke while he was driving.
Oh, I'm sorry. You doubled with White House. Okay. Oh, okay. My, that's horrible. It's especially this time of year. Well, I will. Is there anything that you can send condolences to?
Yes, he does have a page. I'll look your email up and I'll send it to you, and you can put a comment. He's all buried now, and his wife and his sons, they're all getting along on the holidays.
All right. Well, thanks for the information. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll follow up. Thank you, Norm. Yeah, send it over to me, and I'll send a note.
He was really a great guy. He would he would help anybody that asked on this frequency.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he was quite an accomplished sailor, I take it.
Yes, from his QRZ page, I think that, sailing and ham radio were his two great hobbies.
Well, Bill, as we get older, I hate to be morbid, but I just lost another dear friend who was an audiovisual designer that I worked with for many years, and that he just checked out from a heart attack. So it's a weird time of the year.
It is. And this is Doug, KB2UKA. I know, I've heard I sound like Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doug. Yeah, you do. You sound exactly like him. I'm sorry.
Well, that must mean he has fantastic audio.
Quite strapping.
No problem, Bruce. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah, when you talk to older people, Bruce, what they complain to you about is everybody they know, family, friends, colleagues, they're all dead.
Yeah, I know, Mikey, but we used to kid. Tongue in cheek, we always used to kid. First thing when we heard a ham died, you say, "What's he doing with his equipment?"
Yeah, well, you got the one guy that went with his amplifier.
Wait, what do you mean?
He put his fingers where they don't belong.
The amp killed him?
Yep.
Oh, God. I think you were telling me about that when I was doing all that work on the 101.
FET. We were at WA3 FET. I forget, he said one night, "Hey, I've got to do something. I'll be right back." And that's the last we heard of him. And then 3 weeks later, one of his friends gets on the radio and said his wife was angry at him because he wasn't coming to bed. He's on that damn radio still. She went upstairs. He's laying on the floor. the amp is still on, and there's a screwdriver stuck in the ceiling. So he did something.
Oh God, he got bit. He got a bad bite.
Yeah, the 101 ain't gonna hurt you, Doug.
No. But there's still 600 volts there.
No, it's 1/2 CV squared.
I thought the high voltage deck presented 600. You're saying it's less?
No, it's the amount of joules that are stored in the capacitors. 1/2 the capacitance times the voltage squared. When a voltage is 3,000 volts, that's a big number.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Bruce, are you still out there?
I sure am, Norm.
Okay, I've got a reproduction to play.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I can't switch AB on this. There's too many things that I've had to alter, mostly mic gain, input gain, gate configuration. No EQ. I don't mess with that. I keep about the same EQ. I did brighten up around 1,000 just so that it would have a little bit more mids on it. This has got pretty much low. If Richie was there, he's I love lows. Well, I can go lower than this because I had to take a lot of it out. Oh my God. So WB2RON and the group NV2G.
What a nice guy he was.
Justice.
What a nice guy.
Wonderful. Thanks, Norm.
Speaking of WB2RON, I haven't heard him in weeks. Have you guys heard Ron on?
Yeah, goofy guy's been rare, too.
I'm going to shoot Ron an email. And I think KZ2N's in there. Good evening, Chris.
Comment.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, we're trying to run a net down in 36, 34, and you're splashing all the way down there, Doug. If you could turn it down a little bit, we'd appreciate it.
I'm gonna send you the video I sent him today. You think I'm gonna let this go? I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Listen, your voice in the video when he got your call sign right, you're like, wow! It just, I listened to it a little while ago just because I was making dinner and it was making me laugh.
Oh, you're gonna like the video I sent him. I haven't gotten a reply yet. I'll forward it to you right now.
Okay, carry on, gentlemen. Good evening. N1 DRS, we're back listening where we could in.
When you send him a video of his filthy signal?
No. I was on 3999 testing something last evening, and this gentleman comes on. His call is, I think, W4OGH. And he starts saying to me, I need to move the frequency because I'm only a technician. So I said, well, I don't know why you're saying I'm a technician. I'm not a technician. He goes, well, QRZ says you're a technician. Why is that? I said, because you probably have the wrong damn call sign, Bob. He goes, you're KD2UKA. And I said, well, there you go. I'm KB Bravo 2 UKA. Then he told me I was splattering past 4 megahertz, which I wasn't. And the video, Dave, by the way, shows him that I wasn't. Because someone was recording me on OBS. And I basically said to him, if you listen in at 2.7 and you put your damn VFO on 4 megahertz, you're going to hear me on 3999. You got to either go up past 4 or you got to put me on upper sideband at 4 megahertz. And then you could tell me if I'm out of the band edges.
Did you explain to him that you run pure signal and he's out of his freaking mind?
Yeah, I said I'm running adaptive pre-distortion, just like a broadcast station. There is no detectable IMD. I even went as far to tell him that there is IMD, but it can't be detected.
Not to take sides for the old guy, Mike, but I could hear Doug on 10 meters.
He's probably using an old Super Heterodyne radio.
All right, Dave, I just sent that to you. You're going to get a kick out of it.
Okay, I'm going back in the kitchen. I'm making the meatballs, and I'm cooking it in the sauce. The only way to make the meatballs.
That's true, but I hope you started it at like noon. You got to make. You made the sauce too?
Sauce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we made the sauce, and the sauce has been bubbling for a while, so we just threw in the tomatoes. We threw in the meatballs here because my wife's not home till like 8:30, so the meatballs should be cooked in time. I just have it simmering.
Good. Yes. Well, that's the best way to do it. I think you're the cook in the house, aren't you?
Yeah. 27, 28 years ago, she made lemon chicken, and that was it. We were getting divorced, or I was going to cook.
Oh, that's great. My wife does all the cooking, except I cook the steak. The kids won't eat my wife's steak. She doesn't season it enough, they tell her. So I could cook, I just prefer not to.
Well, she can cook. I mean, in fairness, she can cook. I just take it to another level. You know what I mean? I like to make my own stuff, and she doesn't have time for that stuff.
You put raw meatballs in the sauce, the gravy?
I did, yeah. I don't sear them. I used to sear them, but no, I just put them in there. They cook for a bunch of, I bring them up to 170, make sure they're cooked, and that's all you got to do. Sometimes it depends on the mood I'm in, Mike. Sometimes I'll throw them on a pan and I'll put them in the oven and kind of cook them that way and toss them in, but I prefer in the sauce from scratch.
What are you making tonight?
You got to make some brajol and put some pork in there.
Well, no, if pork is another situation. Like sometimes I do a lot of pork. I do half and half when I make the meatballs, but these ones we kind of work with what we had. But yeah, I usually do pork in there too. I love it. But it depends on like I said, the night. My wife's working till 8. My daughter's at the mall with her girlfriends. My boys are out with their friends. So it's just me and my father-in-law.
No, not ground pork. You put a piece of pork in there, like a pork chop.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I make them with. Well, we used to do. Oh man, I can tie up the whole frequency with this. My mother used to love throwing like the big onions in there just to cook them, then take them out and throw them away, all that good stuff.
When my mother made sauce, you'd have the brajol in there. You'd have the big chunk of pork, like Mikey was just saying. You'd have all the meatballs. And do you fry them, Dave, before you throw them in the sauce, or you bake them?
Well, it depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Tonight, I just throw them in.
Oh, you cook them raw in the sauce?
Yeah. Tonight I just throw them in. Sometimes I sear them in the pan, and sometimes but I don't like the oven. The oven, I think, ruins them.
Yeah, I think putting them on the pan for a few minutes or all around, and then throw them in the sauce and let them finish in there.
The only problem is this house we have electric instead of gas, and so you it kind of takes the saute and stuff. I can go out to the grill, but it's too damn cold sometimes.
Yeah, we were 57 degrees all day. Were you warm up there today?
Yeah, we were at 57, but we got rain all day long.
Yeah, I think that's coming tomorrow or tonight. We were beautiful today. Gorgeous. KB2, UKA, right about at the 40.
Van, so I don't want to keep talking to you.
Wait, I doubled with you. What'd you say?
I said you're all over the place. I see you all the way down to 40 meters now, so I'm going to get out the way so you're not bothering everybody.
My IMD's so bad, I'm 300 watts on channel 2 on 60.
You got a bunch of guys at 11 right now calling you.
Yeah. They're saying, hey, mud duck, get out of the mud. Go watch that video. It's 2 minutes. I expect a full report when you get back. KB2 UKA at the 40.
Lions make gravy.
We're Nabali Don. We call it sauce.
Okay, I'm back. Bruce, I sent you 2 emails.
Okay, let me check, Norm. Okay, got him. Thank you.
My damn Windows 11 Pro wallpaper. I gotta shut. It randomly changes. I've got 2 llamas staring at me right now.
Watch out, they'll spit at you.
We were at the Long Island Game Farm, all the way out east on Long Island. I don't know. My daughter's 11 now, and my son's 10. Maybe 5-6 years ago, and one of them spit right in my wife's face.
It's worse when they're eating molasses and oats. I'll tell you something. I missed. I was gonna photograph this family, and the little baby is holding out hay, and the llama's sniffing it. Oh, they're so cute. And the husband got in really close, and that llama spit, and he had everything. Oh, it was gross. His wife was puking.
Oh, that's great. See, those are moments that you got to be at the right place at the right time to capture them. See, and that family will never forget that day.
Yeah, but that pales in comparison to when a group of drunk people were going in a local animal farm. This is 25 years ago. He had a lion, an African lion, and they were just making the wrong kind of noise for this lion. That lion turned around and shot urine over all those people. And I'm not so sure if you know what cat piss smells like, but it's 50 times worse out of a lion.
Well, yeah, I've had cats since I've been married, and their piss is extremely potent, much more potent than a dog's or a human. So I'm assuming it's that smell's staying on those people for a few showers.
I was 30 feet away, and my friend, he come running over, and when he saw what happened, he started laughing at these people, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting out of here. These people were puking. And the lion didn't care. He just got up, put his ass to him, and just pissed. And it was a violent piss. It was like high pressure spray, and I could smell it. I could smell it when I walked in there before it happened, because he pisses, you can smell it. Ooh boy, these people, I wonder whose car they got into.
What was it, like a traveling petting zoo? He had the thing in a cage, or was it was a setup like a little mini zoo?
It was a mini zoo. It was called Bechtel's Birds and Beasts. It's no longer in business. He sold everything off. He got old and the kids didn't want to do it. But there was a lot of that. Ostriches, and he had to be careful, He had to supply heat to these animals, and it got to the point where it got too expensive to feed them. I mean, the kids would come by from schools, and then it started to get kind of ratty, and less people would show up, and there was no income. The kids didn't want it. But it was interesting. I went in there once.
They're starting to shut a lot of them down around here. There's only a few left. They're all saying, which I believe it. Animal abuse and not taking care, keeping them clean. Neurological issues in the animals from being mistreated. So it takes, it's a lot of money to take care of bears and elephants and lions and tigers and bears, So, these little local crappy, what do you call it? Game farms. They need, you got to be a big zoo to handle that stuff.
Well,
What's
as
up,
long
Mike?
as you're spending the money on veterinarian, like Mr. Bechtel, Charlie was a good man. He was spending his savings on these animals because he liked them all. They were all pets. I mean, you have an African lion walk up to you and just start purring, because you're his buddy. But no, I believe animals belong out in the wild. If they're worried about poachers, and if they really want to get serious about saving the animals, they should set up live fire on the poachers. Just execute them right there and let the vultures eat them.
100%. I agree. They shouldn't be caged. They shouldn't be held in captivity. I 100% agree. They're poaching. Well, you send a mercenary militia out there to take care of them, they'll stop poaching.
Exactly. And the problem is the government. Let's use a couple. The Sudanese government. I forget which animal they were worried about, but they only had 6 people. Good Lord, you need about 600 people on a payroll just to patrol the area.
Yeah, 100%. Chris, did you ever make it in KZ2N? You listening? I thought I heard him right before Dave jumped in.
I wonder if it was N2GEW. Herb was supposed to be in here tonight.
Yeah, Herb, you out there? Richie, Mike's still out there, I think. You know what? I'm going to send Ron an email. I don't like that I haven't heard him at all on the air. All right, I just sent Ron an email. Hopefully everything's good with him.
You would hope so. There have been a lot of COVID cases popping up in eastern PA. Whatever happened to the bat soup? They're told they said, oh, this is naturally occurring. No, it's reoccurring. It was bioengineered, and I really want to know where the outrage is from the people, that they don't want more investigations into who was funding it. I know our country was funding it, but there were some big business people. Bill Gates, perhaps?
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you've been paying attention. I kind of went down the rabbit hole again last night. So Fauci has reemerged on the networks. Him and these old bats from the CDC and the FDA and whatnot, they've been all over the liberal media for the last 3 or 4 days about this bird flu, okay? And this one wackadoo from the CDC, she said, this was on CNN, she goes, we just haven't learned our lessons from COVID. I am calling on Joe Biden to authorize 1 million doses of bird flu vaccine before he leaves office. And then she goes on to say, the only way to counteract any of these viruses is to have proper testing. She was advocating door-to-door mandatory testing for bird flu.
You didn't notice that Pfizer came out with an in-home test kit that tells you if you got COVID or the flu?
No, I didn't see that. Well, they already have the in-home test kit for both of those now. And another thing, a report came out that in 2018, Fauci contemplated using drones. This is interesting, okay? Using drones to release and spray breathable vaccine over the population.
Yeah, Fauci and everybody in Pfizer's got to be dragged out and put in the oven.
And did you see, Mike, that I also read this last night too, and no one's talking about it. Pfizer was working on something about COVID in 2015. And it just so happens that whatever, I don't know if it was a spike protein or an enzyme or something with the mRNA, but whatever they were working on, they're finding traces of it inside the actual COVID virus.
Let me tell you something. It's really a bad scene. It truly is. I can't believe what happened with that. And the people that got the vaccine, they're little factories. They're producing this shit and excreting it.
I think they are, and I think what frightens me the most, Mike, is after 3 weeks, I knew something wasn't right, and I took the mask off, and I started giving I'd go into places and I'd get stared at without the mask, and I'd purposely walk the wrong way in the supermarket. Just to, to show people, hey, everything's going to be all right, and they would be all awkward. I think the masses will fall for it again, number one, okay? I think they'll fall right in line again. And number two, well, I'll let you know number two when I remember it.
Wait, people are dropping dead now. You ever hear of the phrase excess deaths?
Yeah, and oh God, what the hell was I gonna say? God, but yeah, they are the fact that they don't want an investigation and that they're trying to not only are they trying to sweep what they did 5 years ago under the rug, this is what I was gonna say. Fauci was a big proponent of the smallpox vaccine. And there's a lot of evidence that smallpox vaccine may have led to the AIDS epidemic.
Rand Paul is after Fauci.
Yeah, well, I hope Trump puts his money where his mouth is this time. I really hope he does.
Mike and Doug, you got an email from me.
I didn't get anything.
There he is.
Believe Trump and these H-1B visas.
Okay, I'm here. KZ2N. How you guys doing? Complete failure, Doug. The mic, the unit, nope. Everything was working. I restart, and then it's not. And then I couldn't get it to work again. I can't deal with it. I spent hours with this thing, and Doug will tell you. And no, this is not a refined device. KZ2N.
All right, I'll let Mike take it because he uses it. But Norm, I'm going to watch this when I get off the air. Thank you.
All it is, I think, is a photograph, and it's just the best correlation in our lifetime that we can do.
Oh yeah, I just clicked it. What a horrible name he gave to Italian Americans. This piece of shit. What a scumbag. Sorry for the language. KB2 UKA.
The crypto Jew.
No, we are on 3.854 lower sideband.
All right, go ahead. Mike, you want to talk to Chris about the USB Ethernet thing? He's having major issues with it.
Yeah, well, Chris, you got to understand, You got to set the thing up. In other words, you have to tell it to auto-connect, automatically run on startup, and that kind of stuff.
All done. I had it working awesome. It was working, and I struggled with it in the beginning because the software, they have a newer version of software that doesn't work well, but I found the original version, and seemed like it was working just fine, and I said, okay, let's restart and see what happens. And I can get my HF Auto USB to work on the port, but I cannot get the Mercury Lux to connect. And it shows up COM port 13 just like it's supposed to be, just like its designator. I'm not. No, it's not for me. I think it'll be a fraction of the price to just run, a 30-footer, to like a hub adapter, and the same thing. But I'm just gonna have to run a while.
I don't know. I'm using this thing for eons, but it's not that brand. It's Advantech is the one I have. It's very old though. It was expensive.
Well, I can tell you this brand, and there's a lot of. It's got 2 reviews, and it's the same problem I had. Got it working, and a day later it stopped working and could never get it working again. But it's going back. It's not worth it. It's over 100 hours for this thing. And no, it's going back. KZ2N, and hello, Dougie, and I thought David was in there, too.
David's making the saws and the meatballs. He'll be back in a little bit.
Hey, Chris, one more thing. You sure it's getting through the firewall?
Oh, yeah. There's no firewall blocking it.
Well, you got the Fairy Windows thing.
Yeah, no, there's no firewall blocking it.
But so the Mercury's you mean the Lux, right?
Yep, my Lux, and it shows up COM port 13, the whole 9 yards, but it says can't open port. It just keeps saying can't open port, but I plug the cable directly into my USB port on my computer. Perfect.
You try a terminal program and connect it at COM port.
But it is Ethernet, so maybe I have to allow access to. I don't know. I'm done with it for tonight. I was very excited. It was working perfect. I mean, I had both. It was connected. It was easy, and I was getting perfect connectivity, just like I am now. And then I restarted, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, it sounds like a Windows thing.
All right, guys, my son's over. We're just waiting for the game. I'm gonna got a couple things planned. We're gonna eat while we watch the game. But I'll be listening. KZ2N.
Chris, who's the big game
tonight? Did you tell it to run it as in compatibility mode? You may want to try that.
Oh, yeah. Had it in compatibility mode, Windows 7. Tried everything. But I didn't really look at the LAN, the local area network, which my computer, but it was working, and I restart and it stops working, so I'm not. I mean, maybe, Mike, the port was good. It said port 13. It even, said it on the program. It just said the Lux could not connect.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Who's the big game tonight for you?
I don't know. My son's got it. I'm not sure exactly who's playing. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? He's over. He any game that's on. It's Monday Night Football. It's on ABC. And I forget who's playing, to be honest with you.
All right, yeah. Tomorrow night I'll be I'll be watching the Penn State game. They're playing in the evening. Good excuse not to go riding around. AC3, GD.
Well, it looks like I'm coming in third in my fantasy football league, which means I lost no money and I won no money.
Well, third's better than not showing.
Right, third place. So third place doesn't have to buy in. So I didn't lose $300. Second place, I think, wins $300. So they win $600 technically, and then first place gets the pot.
Well, I hope you win that.
Well, I can't win. I was in the battle for third place in the playoffs, and I think I won it last night. I have 145 points. The person I'm playing has 130. He has no more players. I have Jay Williams from Detroit playing tonight. That's it. So as long as I don't lose 15 points, I'm in third place.
We have another strong signal tuning up.
Yes, we have the tuna can. Come on in to 3854 KB2 UKA.
Norm, no plans for tomorrow night? K2 RPM.
I'm going to be watching the Penn State game, staying home, staying out of trouble. My wife and I have not gone out in over 35 years. It's just too dangerous out there. Number one, if you have one beer too many, it could cost you thousands of dollars. But the more scary thing is, there are people that don't drink for a year, but they'll go out on New Year's Eve to an office party, and then they can't drive, and those are the ones that usually end up in the accidents.
Oh, you got that right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm with you, Norm. We go. We used to go down to Flushing, to Queens, to Chinese for soup dumplings, but we found a good place in up here that actually the people are from Flushing, or as we affectionately refer to it as Flushing. And so we go for soup dumplings, Chinese, usually about 3:30, 4 o'clock. We're home by 6, and that's right. I refer to New Year's Eve as amateur night. Over.
We haven't done anything in years either. What we're doing tomorrow at 4 p.m., we are going to Hibachi with my children and a few of their friends. We'll be out of there by 5:30, and that's it. That's the night. KB2 UK. I'm going to be on the side for 1 second.
Yeah, I got you, Doug. That's exactly what you need to do. There's too many jackasses on the road.
And the thing that really gets me is not only are they pie-eyed, driving with one eye open, they're texting at the same time.
Oh, my God, Norm. Yeah, you can't believe what I see on the road. I mean, I was at a stoplight today, and I was in the right lane. There was a car pulled up, of course, smoked, tinted windows, smoke glass windows cracked, and all you could smell is weed smoke coming out of the car.
I'd worry less about someone that's stoned than someone that's drunk.
The weed is everywhere now. Look, if you want to smoke a joint, more power to you. But you walk around Manhattan, you walk anywhere, you go see a Broadway show, it's in the damn theater. It's everywhere.
This one killed. This one in the hospital. It's like a roller. It's like the old roller derby.
Yeah, I heard both of you. Number one, if you want to get buzzed, keep the damn 2-ton killing machine parked. And if you know you're going to be getting buzzed, have somebody drive you that's sober. It is so easy. How do you explain to a parent? I didn't think of calling somebody, so I did it myself, and that's why your child's dead. People don't think past what they are thinking of doing, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of people die unnecessarily, and all it took is, hey, Mike, this is Norm. I want to go out tonight. I know you don't drink. If I buy your sodas and pay for your gas, can you bring me to this bar and we can play darts and pool, et cetera, et cetera? You know, people should start seeking out different ways to have a good time that don't entail jeopardizing other people's lives.
Yeah, or you could take an Uber. You know, if you're downtown from your house, it's $20 to get home. $20 is a lot cheaper than $10,000 for a DWI, if not more, and possibly killing someone.
Yep, absolutely, guys. That's why, we go out early, do our thing. I mean, Doug, you have kids still around. My daughter lives in England, so, we have nobody here. So we usually go out with my neighbors every year, and we just do our thing, and we're home early.
Yep, I'll. In fact, I'm 44. I'm still a spring chicken. I don't think I've been up till midnight on New Year's Eve in over 10 years.
Oh, wait 25 years.
Wait, what'd you say, Mike?
Yeah, you are a spring chicken. Yeah,
No, I've never missed one.
At 71. But yeah, no, what I do is I end up on the radio, and there's a lot of antics on New Year's Eve, and then my wife usually she craps out early, so she's sleeping, and then I'll wait for I'll wait for New Year's Eve or for the ball to come down, and just for the thing, and then usually he'll crap out after that, but. It's supposed to be rainy and cold and lousy in Times Square tomorrow night.
Yep. Hey, Bruce, the place in Flushing you used to go to, would you get the fresh made noodles with the lamb? Is that the dish that you liked?
No, we get the crab soup dumplings was our favorite.
There's a place in Flushing that makes unbelievable noodles. And you can actually mail order them. They send them in a refrigerated package, and you prepare the dish yourself. I used to work in Flushing, so I used to hit all those spots.
And New Year's Eve is straight key night.
Is what, Mike?
Straight key night.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, but... Yeah, no, you know what? I used to go, Doug. I used to go down to Chinatown a lot, and my favorite soup dumpling place is Joe's Shanghai. They used to be on Pell Street, but they moved. They're on Bowery now. But that was, and they have one in Midtown. I think in.
Everyone on the stream, Happy New Year. You guys could start typing in the chat there. There's 15 of you.
But as we don't have to elaborate on it. But the city's, it's deteriorated, so we don't go down there anymore. But quite honestly, I miss it. I miss the food.
It really is the best city, and they've let it go real, So me being 44, when I was a little boy in the 80s, I remember it being bad, going in with my mother and father and going to Radio City and FAO Schwartz. And then I went to school in the 90s. I went to NYU and I lived in the city. And Giuliani, it was a beautiful place. The homeless were gone. It didn't smell like urine anymore. You weren't getting randomly pushed off the subway tracks or stabbed. And now it's probably worse now than it was in the, late 70s into the 80s.
Oh, make sure I have. I agree 100% with you. I grew up when Times Square was rough and tumble, when it was, sex shows and everything else. And it was when you had, what was his name? The men's room attendant, we used to call him Dinkins. And then, we saw the resurgence of the city with Giuliani. And then Bloomberg took it over and kept it pretty safe and pretty clean. And then that moron de Blasio took over and destroyed that place. And now you got
I know.
Now you got Eric Adams.
I don't know Blaze.
Who's just an absolute idiot, who's caused the final, a further demise of that city. And unfortunately, Doug, I still got to go in there. I'm basically retired, but I have one client that I still do work for. And, I used to go in, they're right on 46th and Park. So, you come out of Grand Central and it's a quick walk and you're in the building, easy peasy. But then I'd get finished with what I was doing and then I'd, jump the subway, go downtown, go visit friends, do whatever. No, I won't. I turn around, get back on the train and come home.
Hey, Jeff. Happy New Year, brother.
It's a wonderful city, a lot to offer, but the politicians destroyed it.
They really did. And I'm in the city. Well, I used to work in the city. Now I work 10 minutes from my house. I'm in the city once a month with my 11-year-old daughter who is pursuing an acting career. So, the first audition now, ever since COVID, those are all self-tapes. But she's very good, and she gets called back a lot. And the callbacks are all in person, and she has teachers in the city. So, it's not fun bringing a kid into Manhattan. I've got eyes on the back of my head. But on a Sunday afternoon, you go into Manhattan and you go to a restaurant and you think everything's all right, and then you walk out on the street and you're approached by a psychopath that you don't know is going to put a knife in you or not. KB2 UKA.
Yeah, K2 RPM. Well, you know what it is? It's unsolicited crime. Now you're dealing with, mentally ill, homeless people, but basically mentally ill that Bragg has just let out multiple times, and these people just, react with impunity, Doug. And you're right. You're minding your own business, and somebody comes and bang you over the head, or pulls a knife out on you, or whatever the case may be. So I don't hang out down there anymore. And I'm a foodie. I love restaurants. I love going to a lot of the places, but I just don't do it. And I miss it. I really do. But hey, I have to go in, I think, the second week of January. And, I'll go in, do what I have to do, turn around and get right out of there. But it's a shame because it's it's a wonderful place. And anything that you can think of from a culinary perspective, you can find. But you know what? I think it'll turn around. I have all hopes that it will turn around. They'll get rid of this idiot if they don't put him in jail, Adams. and maybe because of Trump's influence in New York, they can turn it around. But I have to say, in perpetuity, the people in New York keep voting for these idiots. If you look at it from a local level, or a state level, or even a national level, they vote the most despicable politicians into office. So you kind of sit back and you say, well, they get what they deserve. But you know what? The people in New York deserve better. K2RPM.
Yeah, you got that right. Those boroughs that are voting for the idiots over and over again, they're also controlling our state. And, this woman, Hochul, it's just the way, she gets put in because she was under Cuomo, and then they actually elect her. Okay. She's the same mentality as Harris. She's a full-fledged socialist, okay? A week before Christmas, I don't know if you caught it, she gave a speech on how the Electoral College needs to be abolished, okay? She said if you're Republican or you have conservative values, you're not a New Yorker and you need to get on a bus and leave. And guess what? So many of them left. They all left. I'd be out of here. I grew up on Long Island. I lived in Connecticut for 4 years when I first got married. We moved back here about 15 months ago. I moved again to a bigger property, and I'd get the hell out of here. I'd go south. I'd go west, but my daughter needs to be close to Manhattan. So I'm here I'm here at least another 10 years. Maybe I could get out in my mid-50s. I think mid-50s I'll be able to get out of here.
Yeah, very good. KB2UKA, K2RPM. Well, if you can get out, get out. But it's now, where are you going to go? The cost of real estate is incredible. But maybe by the time you're ready, things will turn around. I mean, I've lived in Connecticut. Well, I was back here. Well, let's see now. It's almost 30 years. I hate this state. This state is probably, I don't know how to say, it's probably the most moderate of the New England states, but it's still bad. I don't have to go into it. You know the drill. But you got to understand what Hochul was, a parasite of Cuomo, and Cuomo didn't want anybody who was going to challenge him, and that was the same with Comrade Biden, with that dope Harris. They put people secondary to them that aren't going to challenge them. So, of course, you got to understand that, as well as you do, that the Democratic Party is going to rally around their own. And, Hochul's an idiot. Adams is an idiot. You got this state of New York run by idiots. And you got the General Assembly run by idiots in New York. So, I mean, Connecticut's bad, but nowhere near as bad as New York. So, certainly at my age, I'm not going to leave here because I got too many things that keep me here. But you're a young guy, get the hell out of there as soon as you can. K2RPM.
Yeah, K2RPM, KB2UKA. That's the plan. That's the plan. And the reason I lived in Walcott for 4 years. I had just got married, so I was 30. and I got promoted at J.P. Morgan. And they needed me in Connecticut. So I had to buy a house quick. I bought a house all the way up there, and I was commuting down to Greenwich and Fairfield and Westchester County every day, but it didn't, whatever. I was young. It didn't matter. And I think the real reason I left Connecticut, Bruce, I couldn't get a damn slice of pizza, okay? Everywhere I went, I had to buy a whole pie.
Yeah, well, Doug, there's no that slice thing isn't really a thing here. You do have to buy the pies, but I got to tell you, the pie here is good. And you can say, well, does it rival New York pie? Yeah, it does in some cases, but you're right. You cannot get a slice here.
I liked Pepe's. There was a place in Milford. We were friends with a guy that worked at the photo store the camera store in Milford, and there was a place right near there. I forgot the name of it. It was more of like a sit-down restaurant type of pizza place, and they had a hot oil pie that was amazing. But Pepe's was good. What's the other big one in Connecticut?
Oh, Doug, you're talking about Colony.
Yes. Oh, Colony. I felt like I was at home when I'd eat Colony pizza.
Yeah. Colony started in South Stamford, and I started going to Colony in 1974, if you could believe it. And then they franchised it. Well, you got the triad here. You got Frank Pepe's, you got Sally's. You got, Pepe's, Sally's, Modern. That's the triad. And then you have Zupardi's, which is very good. And then my favorite, which is, in the pecking order, like a second tier, but they're friends of the family, so they're like first tier with me, is Ernie's Pizzeria. But yeah, New Haven's known for their pies, but you're not going to get slices there. Over.
No, and that was okay. When I'd go to Pepe's, the slices are cut small, so we could kill a pie, no problem. And I'm kidding. That's not why I left Connecticut. I left Connecticut because we had our first kid up there, and let's see. 2 months after my wife delivered that kid, she got pregnant with my son, and all our family was here, and we were young kids up in the middle of Connecticut. We were driving down to Long Island every weekend. I said, screw this, we're moving back, and we moved back. That's really why we came back. I loved it up there. Walcott, Glastonbury, it's a beautiful state when you go up there. You get close to Massachusetts or you go west. It's beautiful, but like anything, right? That state, there's reasonable thinking people up in that state, but you got Hartford, you got the major cities controlling the state.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, Wolcott's an enclave of Italians. I have a good friend up there, Joe Lombardi. But Wolcott's like a enclave of Waterbury. So the Italians escaped and they went up to Wolcott. But yep, I know it very well. But yeah, you're right. Well, you got some of the worst politicians like New York. You got Comrade Blumenthal, the lens lice, and you got Marxist Murphy, who's already banging the drum on how Connecticut can insulate themselves from Trump. And then you got the purple-headed warrior, Rosa DeLauro. The only reason that old hag is still in office is because she dumps tons of money into New Haven and into Yale University. And the more money she dumps into the city, the more violent crime there is. It's, you read in the paper every day. There's shootings, there's gangland violence. My wife and I used to go into New Haven all the time. My wife worked for Yale and was affiliated with Yale for many years. And we used to go to a lot of alumni. They would just have interesting meetings. They'd have guest speakers and things. And then there are a lot of wonderful restaurants in New Haven. The problem is that crime is out of control down there. So we don't go. We won't even go near the city anymore. So, it's this permissive posture from the state government that has handcuffed the cops, and they can't do their job. So most of the Connecticut cities have turned into seething, excuse my expression, seething shitholes. Over.
Yeah, they really have. They really have. I think, like you said, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, I think we're going to see a turn. Well, we already saw a turn nationally. I think we're going to start to see a turn because the taxpayers in these states are going to get fed up real quick if they see other states turning and here we are. Okay, but we got to have faith. The country survived a very big precipice on November 5th. So now we just we get through January and we put him to work. Okay, I'm going to hold him accountable too. I did the first term. There's rumors that they're going to pull some crap with this bird flu. Fauci's back on TV again, making his rounds. I just hope Trump does what he says he's going to do. All right, let's see if we didn't scare everyone away. KB2 UKA. Somebody else want to jump in there?
K2QNU. I grew up on Long Island.
AC3GD from McElhattan, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. I got to take the dog out for a minute. Go ahead.
All right, good to hear you again, Norm. And the Kilo Station, go ahead.
Kilo 2, Quebec, November uniform. My name is Jay. I'm up here near Albany. I grew up on Long Island, so I can tell you what it used to be like. I'm wondering where the Long Islander lives, what part of the island.
Hey, Jay. That's me. This is Doug, KB2 UKA. Born and raised here. I'm the spring chicken of the group. I'm 44. So I was born in 1980. I grew up in Huntington. Went to Huntington High, left, went to NYU, came back, lived in Huntington still. Got married, lived in Connecticut for 4 years. When we moved back here, I settled in Kings Park. And a year and a half ago, I bought a home in Fort Salonga. So I'm in Fort Salonga now, which, as if you remember, I'm only 10 miles from where I grew up. So, but I've worked all over the island. Go ahead.
Okay, very good, Doug. Well, let's see. I was born. Let me see. I grew up in Wandsworth, Levittown, and let me think. The first time I bought a house in Smithtown. I went to Stony Brook, and I lived in and around Stony Brook when I was going to college, and I did live on campus for a while, but I rented a place off campus in Smithtown, and later on I bought a house in Smithtown. But I grew up in Nassau County, exit 27 of Southern State. Go ahead.
All right, Jay. Yeah. Well, I know Nassau very well. My wife's from Farmingdale. I'm on the Smithtown side of Fort Salonga. So I have a Northport zip code, but I pay property taxes to Smithtown, and my kids go to Kings Park School District. So I know Smithtown very, very well. I know the people on the board very well, and I'm in Smithtown every single day for something.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm up here near Albany. My town is called Clifton Park, and I'm not too far from the Saratoga Racetrack. I'm not all that far from the city of Troy. I'm not all that far from the city of Schenectady, and I'm not all that far from the city of Albany. So you might say I'm very centrally located in what's called the Capital District for upstate New York, but Albany's the state capital.
Oh, yeah. And you're also not that far from Saratoga Springs. When I head up to Lake George every 2 years, I'm driving right past you.
Absolutely, you sure are. There's a set of bridges which we call the Dolly Parton Twin Bridges, and if you're headed northbound on 87, you go over the bridge, and I can see it from the window in the living room.
That's great. Well, you're sounding good down here. I'd say is Long Island. I don't know when you left, but it's definitely more congested. It's more congested today than it was 10 years ago. And I could always tell by the traffic. I work in my business is on East Carver Street in Huntington Village. So in the morning, I take 25A West all the way into Huntington. So the length of that commute tells me how much more congested Long Island's getting.
I understand. Well, I've been gone from the island for about 35 years, something like that. At least 35 years. I'm 77 years old. I was born in Manhattan in 1947. When I was 4 years old, my parents bought a Levitt house, and I grew up there. I went to high school there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And anyway, I've been up here for about 35, 36 years, something like that. And now Clifton Park, upstate New York, is home. It's very different, but it is getting crowded. It's getting very, very crowded. The commute from Clifton Park down 87 into Albany is a lot different now than it was, say, 30 years ago. A lot different.
I'm sure. Well, you're the same age as my mother. When you said Stony Brook, I forgot she didn't go to Stony Brook. She went to St. John's, and then she did her master's at Post. For a second, I couldn't remember. I thought she did it at Stony Brook. I said, maybe you guys crossed paths, but I think you said you did your bachelor's there. But yeah, well, it's a small world. Well, you're sounding good down here, about 5 over. The band changed a little bit, but all good. Norm, why don't you say hello to our friend Jay in Clifton Park, New York?
Well, I will. Hello, Jay. Again, you and I worked on 3805, October 28th and 21. Haven't heard anything from you. I did send you a QSL card. I don't expect one back, but you have a good signal here in north central Pennsylvania. Over to you, Jay.
Very good, Norm. Very good. Well, on the next over, you give me your call sign, and I'll get you into the book. So far, you and Doug are about 5 and 9 plus 10. Very strong signal. And let's see. We've had some very warm weather up here. About 55 degrees last night and today. Early this morning, we had torrential rain with heavy fog. You could hardly see, maybe 15, 20 feet. And I was in the car. That was good. Anyway, yesterday was the same thing. Heavy, dense fog, but we didn't have heavy rain. Anyway, we've had some pretty bizarre weather up here. And let's see. So the area is called Clifton Park. We have a number of small towns and a number of small cities. And it takes about maybe 45 minutes to get to Lake George, about 45 minutes to Lake George, and about an hour and 15 minutes to get up to Schroon Lake. And these places are straight shot up the Northway. So I'm very close to the Adirondacks and being able to get into the mountains. Go ahead, Norm.
Okay, Jay, again, you're a retiree, you're unlimited income. I don't expect a QSL card, though you did ask for my call sign, and I am required to give it to you. It is Alpha Charlie 3 Golf Delta. AC3 GD. Everything's proper on my QRZ page.
You know, I think I see the card. It's thumbtacked to the wall. I can't begin to understand why it didn't send you a card.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Postal Service is suspect.
Could be. Anyway, I have all these cards. They're all thumbtacked to the wall. But that's the scoop with that. We're running 100 watts. We got a dipole, and we run a Yagi on 10, 15, 20, and 17 and 12. And at night we're using the dipole. I have a Cushcraft R7, but right now it's on shortwave listening duty.
Okay, well, you had sent me a 5959 back 3 years ago. Conditions must have been a little bit better than that.
You're 20 over right now, 20 over, so you're doing a very good job, Norm. And you might tell me what your part of Pennsylvania is like. Go ahead.
Well, my part of Pennsylvania is mostly rural agricultural. I work for one of the biggest industries in the area, First Quality Products. I work in the tissue division. Let's see. We have one stop sign. We have a stoplight in town. We have 2 medical facilities. We have 1 McDonald's, 1 small truck stop with a gas station, and 1 post office, and a set of railroad tracks. Over.
Starting to sound like a little bit like Arlo Guthrie. I'm trying to remember the name, the guy that did the song 30,000 Pounds of Bananas Coming Down into Scranton, Pennsylvania. Is it anything like that?
We're not as high class as Scranton.
Well, it did sound a little bit like Alice's Restaurant. I don't know if you ever heard that song. Go ahead.
And that was Harry Chapin, by the way.
Listen to it many a time.
Somebody else broke in there. Why don't you pick them up, Norm?
No, that was me. I was just saying that was Harry Chapin who did the banana song.
ED with Kilo 2, Quebec, November, uniform.
It was me, Norm. I doubled with you. I was saying Harry Chapin wrote the banana song.
I remember listening to the song on the radio back when radio was the way people listened to the music. And I remember I'd either be going to work or coming back from work, and I would always tune that song in. You know what I mean? I really liked that song, 30,000 Pounds of Bananas Coming Down the Mountainside in the Scranton, Pennsylvania. That one always got me.
You know, there's truth to that song. There was a tractor trailer that went over an embankment.
Was he carrying bananas?
That I don't know, but I do believe Harry Chapin was reading a newspaper and read that blurb. The only Harry Chapin song that I listened to, there were 2 of them, and they were both intertwined. It was Cats in the Cradle. That was the big one for me.
15. Hold on, let me see if I have it.
Get together with his father.
Let me see if I have it real quick. 15 tons of bananas on March 18th, 1965. The truck drove off an embankment in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So, yes, it was 30,000 pounds of bananas.
Well, Harry Chapin grew up in Huntington, in case you didn't know it. I believe that's where he lived with his wife and family.
Yep, he did. He did. And you got the old Walt Whitman house in Huntington as well.
Yeah, I know about that, the Herman Melville stuff. In fact, there's a number of roads called the Herman Melville Boulevard.
Yep, that's correct. And when I was a kid, we used to take field trips to the Walt Whitman house, and where it is isn't actually where the house was. They had to move it. But yeah, there's a lot of history here, as you remember.
Well, if you travel around where I live up here, absolutely nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. In fact, the hardware store has a brass nameplate that says in 1794, absolutely nothing happened here. And you'd be surprised how many people have those nailed to their front doors.
That's funny. Well, you remember, this is big revolution history here, and, well, mostly revolution. A little bit Civil War, but mostly revolution.
We have a national park up here, not too far from where I live, called the Battlegrounds. It's the Saratoga Battlegrounds, where the English and George Washington's forces made a big stand, or I should say we made a stand against the British Army. And it was the first time there was a win on our side. And we sent them, you know, like the song, the Ballad of New Orleans with Johnny Horton. Well, maybe it wasn't quite that big, but we have a Battlegrounds National Park. It's filled with deer, cross-country skiing in winter. It's a really nice national park. Anyway, that's what happened not too far from here.
All right, Jay. Well, it was nice speaking with you. I think I'm going to back out of here. Norm, always a pleasure. And anyone else on Frequency, I wish you all a happy and prosperous new year. I'll be playing radio probably most of tomorrow, so I'll catch you guys maybe in the AM. This is KB2 UKA. I am going QRT, but I'll listen out. Why don't you take it, Jay, and pass it to Norm? 7-3.
Okay.
Good night, Doug.
Okay, we got
Bruce, you as well.
Dougie in the book, and you never know. I'll show up again, kind of like a bad penny. But you gave me a really nice welcome in. It's been a pretty quiet day. So that's the scoop. That's the scoop. AC3GD. Go ahead, K2QNU.
Okay, I heard Bruce and Mike in there, 7-3, Jay, 7-3, Dougie. Mike, I haven't heard much out of you. Why don't you make a few syllables and hand it over to Bruce?
I think it was Chris you heard, but I'll say 7-3 to Bruce and Chris as well. KB2 UK clear.
We'll catch you later, Doug. KZ2.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. I haven't heard much out of you, but go ahead and pass it to Cousin Bruce.
No, don't let me stop you guys. You pick it up. I'm just listening.
Okay, whatever you did, you sound very good, very good. K2 RPM, I think KD2 RPM, AC3GD.
All right, Norm, very good. K2 RPM. And as I'm chewing something here. Hi, Chris.
Take care,
hope
guys.
you're doing well.
All right, guys. Happy New Year. Maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow, so catch you then. Take care. This is KB2 UKA going dark.